Hi guys, I'm Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to get into a little bit of how the 75 Hard-ish for Writers Challenge is going. We're going into week 8, so like 3/4 of the way done somehow already. Want to do a little check-in on how that's going, so let's get into it. So the rules of the challenge for the 75 Hard-ish for Writers Challenge that I gave myself were to 1 exercise a day. Pretty loose with that, just move my body in some capacity. Journal every day, drink 60 ounces of water every day. And then at the beginning of the challenge, I wanted to do 15 minutes of me time every day in the morning, like before work, like a quiet, starting the day off, meditation, slowness sort of vibes. And then write 3,000 words a week and post 1 video a week. So, how that's going. Well, it was very quickly apparent within the first 2 weeks that the 15 minutes of morning time was not where I'm at right now. It's a great goal for someday, but where I'm at, like with my circadian rhythm and with my work schedule and all of that, it's just not quite the right time for that particular goal. So that goal quickly was changed, got rid of that one. The first 2 weeks I did really well with all of my goals. I was sticking very well to the moving my body, drinking water, journal, and writing 3,000 words and posting every week. First 2 weeks went great. I was really riding that high of the new goals, and they were going good. I ended up doing all of the 3,000 words pretty much on the weekend all at once for the most part, maybe broken up a little bit between the 2 days, but for the most part it was kind of all at once. And then weeks 3 and 4 kind of hit a little bit of a wall. Got physically sick, a little bit of mentally not doing as well. And then, so I kind of fell off a little bit. I was still sort of doing the goals like in an every other day or every couple of days kind of way, but I wasn't keeping it as consistently in the forefront of my mind as I needed to be. So weeks 3 and 4 didn't meet the goals. And then it was kind of hard to get back into it because I'd lost the motivation, but got back on track weeks 5, 6, 7 for the most part. Definitely there with the writing, 3,000 words and the daily goals of the moving my body, drinking water, journal. That was all going really good. 5, 6, and 7. I haven't been posting quite as much as I should be, but that's the only goal that I haven't met the last few weeks. So this is all to say, kind of revisiting where I'm at with the goals and kind of just some thoughts about writing and creating new habits in general. So the real purpose of this challenge was not for me to be able to say, oh, hey, I did all of these things every day, and just be able to say, hey, I did all this stuff. It's to create new habits and to become more closer to the version of myself that I want to be. I want to be a writer, I want to be more creative, and I want to be healthier. So that's really the ultimate goal of the challenge. And in the middle there, when I really lost track, I kind of lost sight of that as well. Because after I missed a few days of not doing it, I was up to doing it again. But the reason it took so long to get going is because I spent so much time after missing the goals a couple of days, just like beating myself up about the fact that I didn't meet my goals, these like self-imposed rules that I had created for myself. Like I had already failed because I missed a couple of days, and then I missed more days because I couldn't get out of my head about it. So, and then finally came to the realization, like, oh, this is kind of dumb. The point wasn't just to say, oh, hey, I won because I did the goals like I said I was going to do every day. That's great. If I could have done that, I think I could pat myself on the back and be like, look how disciplined I am, which is great goal to strive for. But ultimately the goal is to create new habits and to be this better version of myself that I am working towards being. So keeping that in mind, I think that's important for everybody to keep in mind when you set new goals for yourself, when you're working towards something new. It's like it's going to be bumpy, probably. It is for me. It's a little bumpy getting into it because it's new. It's something brand new that I'm trying to do. trying to establish for myself, and that takes time. And it's probably not going to be perfect right out the gate, and that's okay. That's probably good because it means you're learning stuff. So what I'm learning, let's talk about that. This has definitely helped me to figure out like what I need as far as writing, because the 3,000 words all at once, that doesn't work well for me. I used to write like that in college quite a bit, but that was more really just like procrastination station. I'd wait until I had to do it, and then I would do it all at once. And hey, I mean, it worked out for me, all right. Mostly probably out of like luck and like a low curve, but that's not what I want as far as my writing. My life as a writer, my writing goals. I want to write more consistently, more often, and I also think that that's better for my writing. I think most people would probably agree that you need to write fairly often to establish good writing goals and to make it easier to get in the rhythm of writing. Just like anything, just like exercise, the once a week thing, I can't, that's not good for me. It takes my brain so much longer to get back into the groove of what I'm doing if it's a whole week in between doing it. So, and at one point in time, I think I was like, I'm gonna write every single day. That's also not super realistic with where I'm at in my life right now. So for me, I think writing 3 or 4 times a week is what is the kind of sweet spot for me where my life is at right now. Couple of nights a week after work, and then more on the weekends. That's where I'm at. That's something I learned about myself. It's kind of one of those things that sounds like sort of a no-brainer, but you kind of just don't know until you actually do it. That's something else I kind of wanted to talk about was establishing consistency, establishing habits. I think it's okay to play with them a little bit and to take a little bit of time to figure out what the right groove is for you. Also, in the last week or so, I've found a couple of different people that are doing like regular writing sprints, and also like a more local writing group that meets once a week and reads some of what they're writing and just kind of supports each other. And I think that's kind of important for me. It's something to help hold me accountable, because it's like, okay, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. or whatever it is, I have to be present, and that means one, I have to be present for this writing group, but also if it's not a sprint or something and it's something like that I have to have something prepared, well, that means I need to prepare it at some point in time. So having like a deadline that's outside of myself in some way is important for me. I've realized that some people, I think, can kind of function more easily with their own, like just knowing themselves and saying, I gotta write at this time. I'm not quite there yet. Hopefully I will be soon, but I'm not quite there. For now, having like an outside sort of way to hold myself accountable is important to me. Now, if I showed up to this writing group and like didn't have something prepared, it's not like these people are gonna shame me or whatever. So it's fine, but it's also like I would feel like I didn't do my job. So it just kind of is a way to help hold me accountable to myself a little bit more. So those are things that I need. Those are things that I need to help me establish habits. I also feel like having like the water intake goal, having something like physical to help me measure it made me feel good. And so I also think, with writing, utilizing, things like TrackBear or some kind of way to count how much I'm writing, or at the very least, like how much time I'm spending doing it, for me is something that's really helpful. And I've learned that. That's not something I knew before. So what I really want to get at with this talk is just to say, for when you're making goals and you're trying to be more consistent with yourself, like I am right now, just remember to be willing to like work with yourself a little bit and pivot if you need to. You might need to change your goals a little bit, and that's okay if that's what happens. You got to be realistic with your goals as well. And when I say realistic, I don't mean like sell yourself short, but just try to be as like self-aware as you can about where you're at and what your actual limitations are. It's a balance, right? It's a balance between like holding yourself accountable to do things as much as you can do and like help yourself grow, but also not hurt yourself by trying to go too hard too fast. For me, it's something I need to build into. If I had said, I'm going to write a book right now, that would not be a good goal for me because I'm not quite there yet. Right now, I'm still really reestablishing my habits of writing. And so if I had started off with a goal of like, I'm going to write a novel in 2 months, that would not be a good goal for me. I could have maybe done it, but I don't feel like it would have been super helpful. I mean, I'm sure I still would have got something out of it, but that's not really where I'm at right now. So that's just an example. Something, be realistic, but also try to keep yourself in mind, your best self, Also with the reality of things, something that I didn't take into account when I started this whole thing 7.5-ish weeks ago was that I would be getting married at like the 9-week mark of the challenge. So almost right at the end, I'm getting married. So that's taken up a lot of my extra time getting ready for that. And just kind of didn't prepare for that as well as I should have. So that's another example of, just maybe take stuff into account. So that's why I'm also not getting super hard on myself for a couple of the goals that I haven't been meeting quite as often, like the video goal. I want to post 1 video a week. It's something I definitely am capable of doing when I don't have a giant life event coming up that requires a lot of extracurricular time. So for me lately, it's kind of been the dance of, okay, with the little bit of extra time I have every week around work and wedding stuff, am I going to write or am I going to learn more about making videos? And it's been writing, so which is good because that's the end game. Okay, so getting into week 8, things are going good. Just a few weeks left of the challenge. Once I'm done with the 75 hard challenge, I'd like to create some new challenges, new goals moving forward, and also not be the big life event will be complete, so I'll have more time for those things and keep you guys updated as things progress. Right now, a lot of my writing has been about my Lord of the Rings fan fiction, so putting that out somewhere, out of my brain somewhere, has been really fun. I originally started writing personal essays and recently just was like, I need to write this weird fan fiction that's been in my head for a long time. So that's been kind of fun, been more of a consistent project. And yeah, keep you guys updated with that. Check in next week for sure. And thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in, and happy writing. Okay, bye.